Okay, you guys, game on, I got my chain on. Game on, I got my... Anywho, guys, in this video, we're gonna talk about the queen, the one and only, Nicki Minaj. So, Nicki Minaj and Don Lemon, they're having a bit of feud. And I'm gonna tell you guys the reason for this feud. Because I was on X earlier, I saw the post, and I was like, if Don Lemon did what Nicki is saying he did, then Don Lemon is in the wrong. No, some people told me that no. There was this pastor at the church. The pastor was an ICE agent. The people were rushing in the church, and Don Lemon just rushed in the church to do some reporting on what was going on. Evidently, Nicki doesn't like it, and Nicki is saying, Don Lemon's behavior is disgusting, and he's a thug, and he should be in jail. No. Many people don't understand Nicki's sensitivity around Christianity. And she's Caribbean. There's a church around every corner. But every time I say that, people want to remind me that Kenneth Petty was in jail and all of that and all of that and all of that. That's none of my business. Nicki and Kenneth Petty, they've been friends since they were minors. They have pictures together as kids. And if Kenneth Petty explain to Nicki exactly what went on and she decides that she wants to put herself in that position, I don't like it, but if she loves it, I can't bully this woman and tell her who to be with and who not to be with. I can't even bully my child. How am I going to bully Nicki? Right? But what Nicki is tired of, which many people are not getting, many people are not understanding what is happening. When it comes to Christianity, there's no respect towards Christians. People speak freely, disrespectfully, derogatory about Christians and Christianity, while they could never do that to the Jewish community. So when Nicki is clapping out and licking out against a lot of things, it's because Nicki knows what's going on in Hollywood. She knows what's going on in the industry. And who knows it too? Trump. Let me tell you guys something. You guys are not paying attention to a lot of things that are going on around you. Pay attention. Pay attention. Donald Trump is starting a lot of wars. And that I agree with, and I don't like that. But you know what I'm happy about? Donald Trump made America the God-centric country that it once was. But Donald Trump cheated on his wife. That's not what's important. If you've read your Bible, you would know it's nothing new for God to use outcasts to lead and to start a movement. If you've read your Bible, he loves to work with the people who are seen as outcasts, people who have committed crimes, people who are prostitutes, and all those people. He has used them in the Bible. Why don't you think he's going to use them in modern times and modern society? How is he going to get to the people who are deep into hip-hop, who aren't going back to church anymore? People like Nicki, people like Kanye, the outcast of society. You think he's going to use cardib? No, because cardib is saying, Jesus gave me my ass to shake it. He's going to show you why, when you're disrespectful to the word, how you get punished for it. And cardib is a primary example of such punishment. Common sense. So, let's go into... So I've explained that to you. Hope you guys understand. And this is not about disrespecting anyone's religion. Nicki's point is the same respect is due to Christianity that the emphasis is placed on for Jewish people. Why isn't the same emphasis being placed on Christianity? If you say certain things about the Jewish people, the Jewish community, the Jewish religion, you are dubbed as anti-Semitism, even though the law is being passed. Zionism is a thing, and if you speak out against it, they're gonna start coming for you. Yes, they won't come for me. But Anywho, they're saying Nicki is continuing her bashing on Don on X, reposting a tweet by someone else who rips apart the independent journalist. Nicki Minaj is so pissed at Don Lemon that she called the independent journalist a homophobic slur for reporting a protest at a Minnesota church service. On Sunday, the rapper went on the attack on X, writing in all caps that Don Suckin Lemon disgusting Don is gay and married real estate agent Tim Malone. So she has the post up. Minaj continued, "How dare you? I want that thug in jail. He would never do that to any other religion. Lock him up." And it is true. We can say Don Lemon is working, which is true. Don Lemon is an independent journalist. In Don Lemon's defense, it is true. But we need to be respectful to Christians, just as though we are forced to be respectful to Jews, even in ways where it's just ridiculous and doesn't make any sense. Remember that post that Jamie Foxx made about Jesus getting betrayed by his friends? And it is something that was taught to us in our religion as Christians, and many Jews were calling for Jamie to be cancelled. That's the same energy we need to have as Christians. And that is Nicki Minaj's point, and many people are not getting it. So, many people are not getting it. They think it's, deeper than that, but it's not. That is Nicki's problem. She's tired of seeing Christianity being disrespected, and there's no emphasis being placed on respecting Christianity. Now they're saying Nicki blew her stack at Don after the former CNN anchor live stream a news report from City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota, where a bunch of demonstrators had interrupted the Sunday service to protest the presence of immigration and customs enforcement agents in the state. So as you guys know, a lot is going on in Minnesota. Several media outlets have reported the pastor of the church allegedly has ties to ICE. But the internet is saying the pastor is a ICE agent. Now, the protesters also ordered immigration agents to get Elle out of their town, while also demanding justice for Renee Good. Remember that young lady that ICE backed up? She was in the car and they point the gun at her and she turned the steering wheel and she was about to speed off and they opened fire and she died, right? So she was shot to death by ICE agent Jonathan Ross during a federal enforcement operation earlier this month. Responding to Nicki's heated comments, Don tells TMZ, "I'm not surprised Nicki Minaj does not understand journalism and is weighing in on matters that are above her capacity. Nothing is above Nicki's capacity." And Nicki could have said that you were weighing in on matters that were above your capacity because you're a journalist. What are you doing in the church? You're only adding fuel to the fire. She could have put it that way as well. If you're not going to respect someone's point of view, how is it that you as a journalist, you want someone to respect your point of view? It's only fair that you see her points. You don't have to agree with her, but being disrespectful to her, and I'm sure you're not more educated than Nicki, not because you're a journalist, because you hold a college degree, and so too does Nicki. Put some respect on that woman's name. You think because she's a rapper, you think she's a dumb bitch. That's what many of you people think, that many of these boys and girls in the hip-hop industry, they're dumb, they're thugs. Many of them are intelligent. They hold a degree just like you. They put in the work just like you. And you people need to start respecting people if you want to be respected just the same. So, a lot of people in the music industry, the hip hop industry to be specific, they may sound like thugs. They may use jargons and, certain terminologies, but it doesn't mean that they're not educated. A lot of them, they do have their college degree. A lot of them. So saying something is above Nicki's capacity, no. However, the more appropriate image for her post is a pick me doll, referring to a person who is overcompensating and needs validation. Nicki doesn't need any validation from you, Don, because Nicki has done very well for herself in her career field, just as you have done very well for yourself in your career field, Don. You need to be respectful. So Caroline Levitt, she posted on, I think this is Truth Social. Oh, it's on Twitter. It has President Trump will not tolerate the intimidation and harassment of Christians in their sacred places of worship. The Department of Justice has launched a full investigation into the despicable incident that took place earlier today at a church in Minnesota. They should have kept the protests outside the church. You can't storm into a church because you hear that a pastor is connected to ICE agents. You can't do that. You could never do that to the Jewish community. They wouldn't have done that. You see, the kids in Gaza are getting bombed. The genocide is being committed in Gaza, and they would never have this energy towards the Jewish community. And that is Nicki Minaj's point. But many people, they're just not getting it. That is also Trump's point, because Trump is a Christian. Everybody is, if you're not an atheist, you're under some religious umbrella. If it's not Jews, if it's not Islam, it's Christianity, it's Buddhism or something, right? So that's what Caroline Levitt had to say. Nicki has been vocal about her support of Trump and MAGA during the president's second term in office. Why has she been supportive of Donald Trump so much? Because Donald Trump brought back the God-centric face to America. And this is why a lot of people in the Caribbean, they don't agree with a lot of things that Trump has done. But when you look at what they are saying they like about Trump, you understand it all has to do with God. Nothing else. No, absolutely nothing else. So I think that just as how Don Lemon wants to be, respected for his work, and he wants to be understood for his work, he needs to understand the same about Nicki and stop saying, oh, she wouldn't even understand the capacity. This is the respect that Don Lemon gives consistently to people. It's as though no one should speak on him, but he should always speak on someone. And he needs to understand that if you're a journalist, journalism comes with criticism. You can't always just want to have your way and not wanting anyone to say anything about you, because the truth of the matter is people are going to talk about you, and you won't be able to control everything that people say about you. And Nicki has a right to share her thoughts and her views and her opinion on whatever is going on in the country that she lives. But that's all I have to say about that with you guys. Peace.